All right, let's look at other parts of it, because before you know it, the 2016 budget is going to be worked upon. And a lot of Nigerians are saying that if this is going to happen, what exactly could be the change that we should be seeing in terms of what goes into the running of the National Assembly? Let me talk to Dr. Austin Nweze now. Give us a sense of what you think should be what the National Assembly will be getting in running it. What will be sane in terms of what is obtainable in other climes?
Well, you see, because the way the budgeting process goes in the National Assembly, you know, sometimes they don't use zero-based budgeting. You know, it's all add-ons. What did we spend last year? Now, add a few things for inflationary and other things, okay? So we expect that, yes, that the budget might have, except they make the sacrifice which Senator Malaya is talking about, except they make that sacrifice, you should expect that the 2016 budget should also be either the same or a little higher, you know, or, you know, so because one is this, let us go back, even the budgeting. Don't forget that the money spent during campaigns to win this. And that's why when you have spent that kind of money, you see, because the cost of running an election in Nigeria is too expensive. It's like running American presidential campaigns. So where do you expect these people to recoup their monies? It's through this process.
Can I cut you, please?
That's fine.
I'm sorry. If legislators or people in governance are expecting to recoup what they spent on their campaigns by illegal and illicit salaries and allowances and remunerations, then it is absolutely wrong. That cannot be the basis of good governance.
Yes.
In any case, nobody forces anybody to go and represent him.
That's right.
Or to go and serve. You are there because you want to serve. If you think the cost of going to serve is too much, then you don't go and serve.
That's right. That's what's supposed to be.
People should be ready to make a sacrifice.
Yes.
To go and serve.
Yes.
But therefore, we should not encourage people to say that when they get into government, they're going to recoup what they have spent.
That is their attitude.
It is wrong.
That is the attitude.
Is the reality?
That attitude is wrong.
Yes.
Senator Okromo, reality is that is it possible that some of the monies that have been expended on campaigns, like you said, is going to be gotten probably from these juicy committees, just like they call it, isn't it?
Well, it's possible, because one is that my little interactions with the some of these distinguished members of the National Assembly and state assemblies is that because there's a cushioning that they get. You know, once they get in there, maybe furniture, they name it furniture allowance and all that. It's some kind of to cushion the effect of, you know, because it's expensive to run an election. Okay, I did one, and I know how much I spent running my elections. So you have to find a way. That's the whole thing I'm talking about now. Is we need to look at not just what they're earning now. It's not their fault. Right from, you know, we missed a critical juncture, an opportunity then when we had that critical juncture in 1999 to look at Nigeria and restructure. By then we could have said, okay, Nigeria's economy cannot sustain the kind of democracy we run. Our economy cannot sustain it. It's unsustainable.
It's too expensive.
It's too expensive.
All right.
So that's why we're calling for some kind of a part-time. If they want to make sacrifice, let them say, okay, we come, how many times do they sit in a year? They can go and do, I keep saying it, that politics is not for the unemployed. Let them go and do some other things. When it is time to sit, they can come and sit and collect some allowances.
All right.
That's the sacrifice I want them
Senator
to make.
Okoromo, give us this, a benefit of your experience there. If you are to restructure the National Assembly in terms of what goes in there, in the sense of money, in monetary wise, what would you be suggesting? Is 120 billion okay? They said they've cut it by 30 billion.
We cannot restructure the National Assembly in isolation. We have to restructure the governance, the system of governance in the country as a whole. Yes. We fought, at the last national conference, we fought that we should even change from this presidential system. That the presidential system is ridiculously expensive. Yeah. It's unsuitable for a poor country like Nigeria.
That's right.
There's no other country other than America where they run a government as expensive as we run in Nigeria. And we cannot be imitating America because we are not as rich as America. And even in America, there are only very few people who depend on their own money to run elections. They depend on contributions from the ordinary people. So in Nigeria, because we have to spend so much for this presidential system, it breeds corruption. And I think we fought to change the presidential system at the national conference. We did not succeed. I would have preferred we go back to a parliamentary system. Most of the civilized world, most of European countries, India, Pakistan, they all run parliamentary system. We all went through this colonial experience. And the parliamentary system served them very well. India is the biggest democracy in the world. They run a parliamentary system. So I don't see why we cannot run a parliamentary system.
Even beyond that parliamentary system,
yes.
Myself and my colleagues, we submitted a report, our submission during the national conference, that instead of running all this system, we should evolve a system that is homegrown. You know, that is, we suggested some kind of a collegiate system. If a northerner becomes president, the West will say, oh, we are marginalized. We have to take a shot at the presidency. And we suggested, look, why don't we have a collegiate system? It's less expensive. You don't need ministers at all. The permanent secretaries will be, the CEOs of these ministries. And then you have, if APC or PDP, they have their they contest presidential or SDP, we have each of them, each zone will contribute one person. So you have College of Presidents, where you have 6 zones presenting. Then those presidents within themselves will decide who will take the first shot to become president. Then others will become deputies, whereby they will supervise, the other ministries. Now the president, whoever becomes president 1 year, it will be a 6-term tenure. Not more than 6, no second term, just 6 years. So it cuts down this thing. It helps you to be run an inclusive political system that will be also encourage inclusive economic development.
At some point, we look at some of the recommendations.
Also, see, we like to say that our legislators are working full time, but I think we are really deceiving ourselves. Even though they're supposed to be, even though they are in theory working full time, they are really part time.
Yes. What do you mean by that?
Because I think we have the most over-pampered legislators in the world. They sit 3 times in a week, 3 days a week. Because they don't sit on Mondays, they don't sit on Fridays. Invariably, they sit Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they sit. By 5, 6, they've gone home.
Don't they do other committee works?
The work is actually the committee.
Every legislature does committee work.
Yes.
If you look at the Greek assembly during their crisis, they even worked overnight till almost at 1, 2 a.m. in the morning. They are there debating. The American Congress, they work overnight. They work at weekends. They work on Sundays when they have to.